Living life seeking answers to the many problems that continue to evolve? Whether it's about business, money, relationships, family, or anything, let's talk. Join Alan Cousin of Get Up Radio Media as he talks about anything and everything that the mind can come up with. His motto is, you can't find a solution until you talk about it first. Ready to be informed about life and feel positive daily? Then come listen to Let's Talk with Alan Cousin and get up as a positive new you.
Hello there. How you doing? Happy Tuesday, everybody. All right. Hey, what's up? Hey, looking today. Sorry about that. She looking good though, just like like man. Hello, everybody. So, welcome to Let's Talk with Alan Cousin. And of course, we're gonna see what are we going to talk about today on Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. That's right, Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. So, what are we going to talk about? I mean, honestly, we could talk about the Iran war that's going on, but I think we're going to hold back on that for a little bit. And now we can talk about the situation of some other, the presidential election and that, how that's going on. But I mean, I'm looking at we can talk about that another time as well. I think what we need to talk about is something that I feel is important, and I think some of you are going to think is quite important as well. I want to talk about someone's birthday today. That's right. I want to go ahead and talk about somebody who made a birthday today on this October 1st, 2024. And more so, they were born October 1st, 1924. Yeah, you heard me correct. They were born October 1st, 1924. So who is this individual that had a birthday today? Well, this individual is former President Jimmy Carter, who made 100 years old today. Now, you think about that. A lot of people don't think about that situation there, right? When you reach 100, living in today's society, that's major, okay? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm 50 right now, and I didn't think I was going to reach 50. I was told when in New Orleans, I'd be lucky if I was to reach 32. And that was really being earned. And I was told this when I was like 16 years old. It's like, if you reach 32, you are a lucky man in New Orleans. Because back then, I mean, you were number one rural capital of the world, basically, not the United States, rural capital of the world, okay? So to reach 100 years old, that's a whole century. That means Mr. Carter has seen 100 years of change, 100 years of development, 100 years of innovation, 100 years of experience in his life. And unfortunately, his wife is not there to celebrate it with him. And hopefully, I know she is waiting in heaven for him to come there, when he does come. And of course, they will be together again once more. Soulmates, because let me tell you, his wife and him were definitely soulmates. They were meant to be together. They knew they were meant to be together, and they basically stayed together. So, like I said, he was a lucky man to have her, and he's been without her for about a year now, but I'm sure he'll soon to see her maybe in the next coming year or so, or maybe next coming months. Because Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter, said that he is going to make sure that he stays alive so he can vote on the presidential election November 5th coming up. And let me tell you, that's only about 34 days away, so he doesn't have much to go, but I want to salute you, Mr. Carter. I want to salute you because I admire you that you have done so much, and you have continually done so much. Even after your presidency, you have helped with charities and benefits and helping people and individuals in need. And you truly understand the definition of humanity. Not many people do, unfortunately, but Jimmy Carter, he understands the definition of humanity. He understands what it means to help an individual in need when that individual needs help. Now, as president, I will say he went through a lot. He came into the presidency at a very crucial time because basically there was unemployment problems, there was inflation problems, recession problems, war. I mean, it was not a pretty picture for him coming into be the president of the United States of America. Now, of course, he tried to calm various conflicts around the world, most visibly in the Middle East with the signing of the Camp David Accords, giving back to the Panama Canal to Panama, also signing the SALT II nuclear arms reduction treaty with the Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev, of course, trying to keep them from having war with Russia, of course. And, there's many other things he did. He actually signed several measures designed to address unemployment of 1977, including an extension of the Comprehensive Unemployment and Training Act, but he continued to focus primarily on reducing deficits and inflation because in November 1978, inflation was critically high. And he even signed the Revenue Act of 1978, which was a $19 billion tax cut, because he was trying every which way to make the United States become stable again financially. I kind of feel like right now, maybe he should run for president. I mean, why shouldn't he? He's 100 years old, right? Think about it. They agree with I understand, yeah, he's got brain cancer and, he's 100 years old and he might not have much more time to live. But, I mean, with the way things have been going, he's been through this before. He understands the situation, understands it a whole lot more than the current candidates understand. At least I can say that much for sure. So maybe we could have Mr. Former President Jimmy Carter place his name on the ballot and be president just for a short amount of time and help to fix America, to replenish it back to the way it was, because like I said, he was trying his best to resolve issues and problems and make things better, and he did everything he could within his power to do that. And then after presidency, he helped many people in Georgia. He still, helped towards benefiting charities. He helped towards building homes for Habitat for Humanity. He made sure that all the people that worked at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library was taken care of and, were given respect and, proper pay for what they were doing for him, and for his files as president and so forth. And I myself am very honored and fortunate enough that currently at this time, I actually own a guitar. And it has the flag painted on this guitar. American flag painted on this guitar. But here's the thing. It's signed by former President Jimmy Carter. And I bought this as a charitable event because Jimmy Carter basically at times will sign things, and give it to charitable organizations to auction off because he wants to help certain charities. And when I bought this, I was just happy enough to get it. Here I am now. I have a guitar signed by former President Jimmy Carter. Because there's not many signed guitars. I mean, he signed a lot of books out there because he was known for signing books. But he didn't sign a lot of guitars. So I can say I have something that's a limited edition signed by our former president, who is now currently 100 years old. Now, what really made it special is I got something after the guitar. I got a thank you note from former President Jimmy Carter, as well as former First Lady, on White House stationery, thanking me for making a purchase and changing the lives of others. And I have that currently downstairs engraved in my case. The guitar is engraved in the case. The actual stationery from the White House, that's a thank you note from the former president and former first lady is inside of that case. And when I see it every day, it makes me smile because it shows me that I did something. I made a difference for someone out there because I chose to help America when I could in some form, in some way. So I just want to say that it makes you feel good when you know you've made a difference. That's why we have our own nonprofit, Helping Humanity, that we are helping to change and make a difference for individuals when possibly opportunity prevails itself. Now, of course, we have not been able to do as much, but we're doing what we can by selling things at below retail price, or offering some things for free, or basically helping people to find housing or to get a job, or, have clothing that they may need for an interview. It's not a lot, but it's a little. And sometimes it's the little things that makes the difference in what you do for people and what you do for humanity as a whole. But I just will say that Mr. Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter, thank you for trying to at least do what you could as president to make the world a better place when possible opportunities were there and when you saw possible solutions to possible problems. You tried your best to do what you could to make those solutions come to reality. Now, a lot of people don't realize politics is a very hard game to play. It's not a situation that's simply that easy to deal with. And a lot of people don't realize that you have a lot of stress as president of the United States. You have to think about everything that you do, everything that you agree upon or sign your name to. When things go wrong, you're the one that they're going to look at. They're not going to look at Senate. They're not going to look at the Congress. They're going to look at the President of the United States of America, because you are the leader of the United States of America. You represent the United States of America. You are the chief of the United States of America. So when things go good, yeah, of course you look good. But when things go bad, they all look at you, even if you were not the actual individual to make that decision causing that event or that problem. Because there's a lot of times, people out there, that you don't realize the president signs off on something, but that's not because the president decided to bring it into action. The president didn't formulate that bill or that law. The president didn't cause that situation. The president was advised, keyword advised, by his counsel to sign this because they felt that this was what was best for America. And when they were wrong about situations that they thought was best, they didn't get blamed. They were not in the paper. They were not on the news. No, the president's face was there. The president's face was posted. The president was caught to be at blame. And that's a lot of stress. That's why if you notice any presidential election candidates or anyone who has become president, do yourself a favor. Go back and look at the photos before they became president, and go back and look at the photos after they became president. You will notice, no matter who it is, you will find some wrinkles in their faces. You will find some stress marks. You will find some gray in their hair, because that's the amount of stress that one individual is taking upon him or herself to be the decision leader towards so many issues and so many problems covering the United States of America. Think about that. That's a lot to deal with. A lot. But Jimmy Carter tried his best to deal with these crises. He tried his best to make things the best he could. He tried his best to be the president that he should have been. And trust me, a lot of times he failed. He did. And it wasn't sometimes because of him. It might have been because of Congress or Senate. But still, he was the one that was looked upon as the one that made the problem worse, or didn't solve the problem at all. I want to, of course, though, give you a famous speech from Jimmy Carter, because I feel like we need to hear from the young individual who is now currently 100 years old. I mean, come on now, 100 years old. We want to, recognize that this individual was strong enough to live to be 100. Is still around because he wants to vote in the next presidential election coming on November 5th. I mean, isn't that amazing that that man is being strong enough to live towards making sure he can try to make a difference in the future of America for the next presidency, when he has lost his wife, when he has brain cancer that is slowly deteriorating his brain. But luckily, because he has a great relationship with his grandson, he has been there, and his grandson has been there for him. And his grandson has had many conversations with him, keeping him as happy as he could and composure. I mean, let's think about it. Over a year ago, President Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter, of course, was placed into hospice. Now, normally when a person is placed in a hospice, that basically means that they're not going to be living for a long time, because they see the situation as there is an end to the situation of living. And that basically they're going to try their very best to make that individual as comfortable as they can as they're heading towards death. But here we are, Jimmy Carter, former president of the United States,